To be sure, we are on a Poltergeist Fury seed, so Y remove will be enabled. Alright, starting out, got Shadow Lock and Go-Go. So having Lock, not necessarily as great here. Poltergeist Fury, you can go straight to Weapon Shop and Curse Shield without Lock. So a little redundant, but Lock is still a great character to have for his base stats. And Locke is kind of, I don't know, I'd say there's four main protagonists of the vanilla game. Both players are looting Narsh at the moment. About on the same foot. Neither player grabbing the weapon shop yet. Both going to Curse Shield at the moment. And that Curse Shield is 16. It's a little on the high side. 11 is the lowest that it can be in this flag set, I believe. And we got no Magicite at the weapon shop, unfortunately. Gem box or economizer, both could be good. You'd rather have both of them together, especially if you're planning on getting the shield uncursed. Now ShadowCid is opting to loot a little bit in the beginner's house, while oneFreeFitz is moving to the main map. Straight to South Figaro. I imagine some more looting will be in store here. Illumina right off the bat. What a great find. And for sure there's someone that can wear it because you have Locke in the party. Finally ShadowCid leaving Narsh, and we see the first use of Y remove from oneFreeFitz. Besides the weapon shop, of course. Now immediately ShadowCid going for the free check. Gal's father's house, also a dead check. So nothing but dead checks at the moment, unfortunately, for our runners.
That was Marvel Shoes there at the Gauss Manor, wasn't it?
That was Marvel Shoes. Not one of my favorites, but some people, Marvel Shoes holds a special place in their hearts.
Oh, we all know how the Schwanz feels about Marvel Shoes.
I do not, unfortunately, but
Oh, he says the only thing they are good for is money.
oh, money. Oh shoot, I screwed something up here. So, just a beginner learning this, restreaming, don't resize the windows after you've cropped them.
Correct.
So, my apologies.
It's all right. We all have to learn somehow. I am still quite new to the restreaming as well. But it looks like oneFreeFitz is in Nikea, while ShadowCid is looting the returners.
I will say Nakia is not a place that I would expect for myself to stop. But I know that sometimes players of this exceptional caliber that we're seeing here will try to do slightly different pathing to maybe give themselves the advantage over the other racer.
And honestly, with the past few runs, we've seen so many times where Nikea has beautiful inventory in the shops. Um, it's turning out to be a great place to stop. In the Poltergeist flag set, um, they've we found Illuminas and Valiant knives and Atma weapons all at the same time.
My goodness. That is a real a real good find. A treasure trove of items, if you will.
Absolutely. Now, if it was a Doom flag set, not as great because those are rewards in the Doom flag set. But in the Poltergeist flag set, you get rewards like the Offering and the Gem Box and Genji Glove. Defeating 4 dragons gets you auto haste and auto safe.
That's true.
Um,
I think it's the
also,
yeah, four for sure.
yep. And then a Coliseum win will get you a Dragoon set, which is the Dragoon boots, the Dragon Horn, and a high tier lance.
And it's
Um,
I think it's either partisan or pearl lance or aura lance.
yep, I think those are the 3 options you can get. Um, looks like oneFreeFitz is in Phoenix Cave, and ShadowCid is in Jador, so we do see quite a bit of variance in this seed.
Yeah, the Shadow Sid I guess went to World of Ruin South Figaro and took that long route to get an empty chest.
Oh,
Unfortunate chest there. But
I
every
was
time you don't check
mistaken.
it, it's Illumina.
Right. Um,
Having a little bit more problems with this. I should never have resized the window. um, I'm so bad at this, man.
oh, it's fine. It's a learning process.
Now, Phoenix Cave is a good place to go, like kind of early in a seed. There's a lot of treasure chests there, and it's nice to get those uh, meticulous checks out of the way
Yep. I
early.
think one of my least favorite checks is Phoenix Cave because I haven't done it very much,
Mm-hmm.
and it is one of the longer checks.
Yep. Especially if you haven't done it, like that pathing gets tough.
But there is a dragon in Phoenix Cave. I'd be interested to see if oneFreeFitz goes for the dragon early in the seed to try to get some levels.
This early is as you're taking a big risk to go there. I think it would be a party of two, but
Very true.
I would love to see that. Some spiciness to the spicy chicken seed.
A lot of times, what I'll do is I will remove the Moogle charm when I'm in the South Figaro basement. Take
That's a
some
nice
grind fights
strategy.
down there.
Yeah, power
Um,
up while you're looting.
yep, because generally at the start of the seed, as long as you haven't done any checks, the monsters are easily defeated. Unless you get stuck with level 50 and level 70 magics, those are absolutely horrible.
Yeah,
That was a Fenrir reward for oneFreeFitz in the Phoenix Cave.
very nice. And I see you updated the tracker there already.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for helping out. I mean,
Not a problem.
I
I
say
wasn't
that
sure
I'm
if I was
helping
going to
out.
be
You're the
able to,
main guy. Yeah, I
uh,
appreciate you making it.
but back to the grind fights in the South Figaro basement.
Yeah,
You're already there. It's a quite somewhat dense treasure area. Oh, and that was a magicite from the thief
there you go. I believe that
for
was straight.
just over 16,000. So that is not a very expensive piece of progression.
It's definitely on the low end. as far as Zen Thief goes.
Yeah, Zen Thief, sometimes you get real lucky, sometimes you don't. I got extremely lucky once and got a experience egg for 69 GP.
There's no way it was 69.
It was 69. I think the Schwantz said the cheapest he's had is like 7 GP.
I never got into the single digits, but I have gotten double digits. And I think the
Yeah,
lowest it can get is 2.
okay.
So,
Looks like ShadowCid is going to go through South Figaro Tunnel, take out tunnel armor, or do the tunnel armor check.
yeah.
He does have a set of fixed dice that no one can use, but he's got an Excalibur and an Illumina already.
And it looks like
There's
he's
the
going to start
ribbon.
putting in some work on that shield, yeah, with the ribbon.
Yep. And I think that's the downside to starting with lock is you don't need Y remove
Exactly.
to get the curse shield. And even though you start with lock, because there's the possibility of you not starting with lock, it is a higher count on the shield. But if you get all the battles out of the way and you learn Ultima, it's great, especially if you can pair it with an economizer and then just pass the paladin shield around to everyone through your party.
Ultima is online in this flag set.
Yeah. So get the shield uncursed, and then 2 dragons per user gets Ultima online for you. Or just about. I think you get 40 magic points per dragon.
I
But
think
in a
it's about
flag
40,
set
yeah.
where you get good rewards for 4 dragons, most of the time you're going to go for that. Um, that was a red jacket and thunder shield after oneFreeFitz got thrown off of the bridge.
Definitely some good finds.
So, yeah, it's not great that you get thrown off the bridge, but at least it was valuable
Yeah,
items.
you get some high tier items for your troubles. And I don't know if Fitz picked up warp stones, but I imagine for them coming here, they got them. Very nice picking up both chests before the ceiling fell.
This spot in the check always makes me nervous. If I go for the chest, I do one at a time.
Yeah, yeah, one at a time. Keep it safe, especially in a
Yep.
race. But
I know it
also take
takes
risks.
more time, but it's less time than what would be caused if you get squished. That's a Sabin. Did
Yeah,
not see the ability on him.
absolutely great find.
Yeah, that opens up a bunch of checks all right by each other. You got Waterfall, you got Phantom Train, you got Imperial Camp, um, and then Collapsing House while you're already in World of Ruin. But it looks like he is going to go try his luck at the Coliseum to get his Dragoon set.
Also not a bad play.
Unless I am incorrect and it is the Opera House Dragon, but I don't see him taking on a dragon right now. He's got a couple checks under his belt. Those dragons are going to be quite powerful.
Meanwhile, ShadowCid leveling up there in the South Figaro tunnels,
Yep, got a
taking
few grind
advantage
fights
of
in.
yeah. It's nice to stop and power up sometimes. Fitz is at level 3 still.
Is, but that was Ultima on one of the Espers he has.
On
Ultima
Stray.
on Stray
Very nice.
and
And,
Fenrir.
oh my goodness.
This is going to be a very Ultima heavy seed.
From this point, you might just throw away that
Ooh,
cursed shield.
that was 2,200 for Stray in World of Balance.
Wow, Fitz did
So
not find that deal.
16,000 wasn't bad, but 2,200 is much better.
Absolutely. So I think that can go from 2 up to 64,000. So 2,200, that's going to be one of the lowest prices you can see. And the Revivify trick coming in handy here. This
Oh
sort
yeah.
of fight. Always want to use that if you can, because these undead enemies, a lot of them can turn you into zombies real quick.
Yep.
Cid, trekking
That's a
through the low
Magitech
room.
Sabin.
And is Magitech Factory enabled here to upgrade, or is this no
No,
upgrade in sight?
this is the flag set where Magitech does not, or Magitech Factory Complete does not complete Magitech ability.
Oh, sad day.
So at this point, if it was your run and you had two Espers that both taught Ultima,
Can't really hear
would
you.
you bother with the Curse Shield?
Would I bother with the Curse Shield? No, absolutely not. I mean, Paladin Shield is nice to have, but you have the ribbon, but you gotta think, like, Curse Shield makes you double, like, take double damage from every element, I think, right?
Yep. But then the Paladin Shield negates it or absorbs it. So it's a good trade off, but it is a high battle count.
Mm-hmm. And like we've said before, you have to stay alive for every battle.
Correct. Oh, oneFreeFitz, I think, is going to stock up on some snow mufflers in the Coliseum for warp stones.
Oh, oh, that's a good trade.
Does
But
that
he
count as a
cast
win?
warp. He cast warp. Oh my goodness.
That was very bad luck. Ooh, and it looks like ShadowCid is having a little bit of trouble um, taking on Chatternook.
Yeah, Chad is never fun to see. It's got a major health pool and some nasty counterattacks.
Yep, so he may come back to the South Figaro Tunnel later. And we're going to see a floating continent with 3 characters.
I think it's not a bad move.
No, floating continent is one of those checks that takes some time, but you do get grind fights up until you make it onto the continent.
We have a question from Rexel. Dragoon set is just boots and horn. It can also, or it does also include one of the 3 strongest lances in the game, either Pearl Lance, Aura Lance, or Partisan. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly. So I hope that answers your question there, Rexel. Back to South Figaro Cave here, and Fitz is going to find out about Chad pretty soon.
But Fitz, I think, has a few more levels under him.
And he's got that Magitech on Sabin,
He
which is
does.
going to carry with fire damage.
And you just got to wait for it to be in demon form.
What a pain. Now, ShadowCid is fighting a bug. Luckily blocked that stone spine, because when bug gets down to only 1 left, it'll try and turn you to stone.
Oh, and Shadow went down.
Oh yeah, in the Chad fight. Unfortunate. Um,
Now,
Saban's gonna revive him.
I believe, oh, he's got fire too, but I also believe that Locke is wielding the Illumina,
That's right.
and if we can get a Pearl proc,
Speak of the sun and you see its rays. On both players right now having a Pearl Prog. That's something else. Well, you called it.
yep, I think oneFreeFitz is going to be able to get through this Chad fight a lot faster, or a lot easier than
There it is.
ShadowCid. And another Pearl proc on ShadowCid's side.
Yeah. Takes down the red stooge.
That was another Magicite for oneFreeFitz.
Oh, good eye.
And Marvel shoes for oneFreeFitz.
Finally opening up that check. Now, poor Locke is all by himself with Sid. This is sad. This is a sad moment. Larry is all alone though, so proper 1v1. Oh no. Locke went down to the ice spell. Saban put on that Esper. I didn't see if it's given any bonuses. Did you get a chance to eyeball that?
I did not.
Uh,
Looks like oneFreeFitz is having a much, much easier time with this current flag.
yeah,
But
absolutely.
ShadowCid is going to go get his Sabin, which will make Chad much easier with the Magitech ability.
Exactly, exactly. And both players kind of did different things at the beginning, visited different places. Um, but right now, it looks like they're lining up to be on the same page, with the exception of the Chatternook fight.
Yep, it looks like they're just kind of mirroring each other right now.
Mm-hmm.
oneFreeFitz already did Zozo's check, or Gogo's check, and then took out Chad and Tunnel Armor.
That's right.
So I think ShadowCid gonna get himself Sabin and make the rest of his seed a little bit easier. Do you usually say Demi? Whoa. I well, it's my wife's truck, um, but I drive it more than she does. Yep. Oh yeah. And my truck, or the wife's truck, does have a Hemi. I wish I lived somewhere where I could drive my car year round, but unfortunately I do not. And there, we finally got in golf after killing the first Zone Eater. No, right? See if ShadowCid can make it through the bridge trolls on the first attempt. Correct. And Thunder Shields are very valuable in this seed because Thunder, or Bolt, is one of the spells that is not available to our racers. Yep, Bolt and Ice have been removed from this flag set, as well as Stop. Yep. There was one runner I saw, he picked up a wall ring in one of the first shops that he came across in a Poltergeist seed and held on to it for the entire run just to have it equipped on one of his party members for when he fought Spicy Chicken in the end. Oh yeah, it did. Yep. I don't remember if he peeked what the statue shuffled spots were before he attempted it, or if he just got lucky and put that wall ring on the correct party.
Yeah. No telling how Poltergeist or Spicy Chicken determines his targets.
Yep. And it looks like that is an Edgar
As some
laying
people
on the
say,
ground.
the king. The king. Edgar?
It looks like oneFreeFitz is dropping Gogo from the party and giving the Dragoon set to Edgar, which is a smart move because he is a natural lance user.
Absolutely.
You just click on the sprites. Yep. We've got ShadowCid and Imperial Camp as oneFreeFitz continues his journey through the floating continent.
Yeah. And that's a real long, real long check.
It is. It's, what, 4 bosses for 3 checks?
I believe
Plus
so.
the forced encounters before.
Yep.
And
yeah, and you just got to trek the you got to trek the whole floating continent, which is
right.
Which is also a pain, as you can see a little cutscene when Fitz stands on these switches.
But I didn't see if Fitz still has the curse shield equipped to someone. But if he does, then that is 7 checks or 7 battles.
That is. Should he
to get the
fight them
curse
all?
shield down more. And then we got an angry grandpa at the Imperial camp.
Yeah. That's gonna unlock some more checks. Unfortunately, not the best checks. Not the funnest checks to do.
I don't want to talk about his checks. My Doom Flag race from last night, I was character locked at Fanatic's Tower, and the boss at the top of Fanatic's Tower was Tritok. So in a flag set where magic power is reduced and fire is removed, Tritok is not a boss that you want to see.
Absolutely not. Where you can only use the magic command.
Correct.
So Valiant Knife, Atma Weapon, Landslide,
Fixed dice,
all out of the equation. Yep. I guess unless you can cast Berserk, Only if you didn't get auto reflect.
I did have auto reflect because I strongly
Let's see.
disliked the Fanatic's Tower check, so I saved it for the very last and did not have Berserk, but even if I did, I had auto reflect.
Fitz easily take down the Dadaluma there at the Atma spot.
That
Did you
was
see the
another Magicite. It was Ragnarok.
Ragnarok? Very nice.
And ShadowCid elected to keep the angry grandpa in his party and removal of Go-Go from the party.
I like that. I like getting rid of Go-Go, especially if you have Espers that can raise stats. Go-Go
Right.
cannot benefit from that at all, and and they have pretty low stats altogether with anyway. But Go-Go's coming
Oh,
back. speak
yeah.
speak of the devil.
Maybe he did not like Strago after all.
Uh,
And we're going to see Phantom Train on ShadowCid's side.
I'm down with the Phantom Train. I prefer
Now,
Phantom Train to Imperial Camp.
true, Phantom Train is peakable. You can actually get the reward early.
Yeah, yeah, that's a little bit more than peakable. It's pretty unique, I think, the Phantom Train.
And
Golem
it's
Magicite.
Golem.
Of course, it does not gonna tally until the check is completed.
Very true. But it looked like it had some good spells on it.
That was quick. I think I saw Doom there, so
Yep, I think it was Doom and Meteor were the black magic spells on it.
very nice.
So he gets to carry that with him and get all the rewards from it. Ooh, is that?
I think it's a fake Magic Master.
Yeah. Magimaster is another one that I never want to see.
No, never.
He's much easier to handle if you have an Atma weapon or Valiant Knife or fixed dice, but
Fixed dice offering, fixed dice, Dragoon setup. What are we getting at the end of FC? It is. Wait for it. Magicite. Frozen Bird.
very Magicite heavy this seed is so far. And oneFreeFitz going to Imperial Camp where he will get his angry grandpa. Another Esper with Ultima.
Yeah, and that'll be nice later on, learning Ultima double speed. If you get that shield uncursed, that's a
So
2% instead of a 1%.
at this point, I think three of the five Magicites that oneFreeFitz has teaches Ultima.
Isn't that something else?
And I think oneFreeFitz took the economizer from the weapon shop check.
I don't remember. One of them took the gym box, and I don't remember if that was Fitz or Sid.
At
Nice
this point,
game
we're
knowledge using the X zone on Prisoner.
hoping for a Terra so that we can do the welt check and then get the second item from Locke's weapon shop check.
Oh yeah, then you got gym box economizer Ultimas, and you're going crazy.
A lot of blue bubbles to end the seed.
Angry Grandpa once again. Got a
So
quick
I
heal
think
from Sid before the boss.
out of all of Strago's checks, I prefer Ebbets Rock.
Mm-hmm.
Because Burning House, doesn't have fixed encounters, but I am horrible at dodging the fire. So
Oh,
it's got fixed encounters for me.
yeah, you're not the only one that's horrible at dodging them. Me too.
Ooh, Edgar taking a nap.
A little
That was
unfortunate to run
huge
into Air
damage from
Force there.
Locke.
Just have to work with what we got here. And I apologize once again for this, moving the screen around. Doom Dragon, unfortunately, are we going to use the sketch trick? I don't know if we have sketch.
I think someone has sketch.
There we go. Shadow Sketch. I think pulls out Fallen Angel or
Fallen one, because
Fallen
that's what
One. Yeah.
ShadowCid did.
Yep. And Air
But I
Force.
mean, with that big swing from the Illumina and the Pearl proc,
Yeah, it might not matter.
I mean, that was almost 8k damage just from Locke.
Nice. We got a raid from Drinks Glue. Thanks for the
Hello,
raid.
Glue. ShadowCid took down his Air Force with a little bit of trouble. Looks like Shadow and Gogo are both taking a nap.
You got some casualties, but that's better than the first attempt there when we didn't make it, unfortunately.
But that does get him his second match site, which was Golem, which is great calmness protection.
Absolutely. And calmness protection, and got the instant death on it too. Of course, already have X Zone, Doom, a little bit more reliable.
And ShadowCid is going to jump off the cliff down the waterfall. And oneFreeFitz is going to start his journey through the Phantom Train.
I wish you would step back from that ledge, my friend.
And he does have the Paladin shield now.
Dispelled the curse on the shield. Wonderful.
So that is going to be,
That's
I think,
big.
all 4 members of his party learning Ultima at the same time. I think based on the little sword that Shadow's swinging, it looks like he may have the Excalibur equipped.
Hmm.
I know Locke is using the Illumina on ShadowCid's side.
Mm-hmm. It could be Excalibur.
I don't know if he's gotten it. Oh, Locke just learned Ultima on ShadowCid's side.
I'd love to see that.
So we have Ultima online for at least one of our racers.
And we'll find out if ShadowCid has got that economizer or not. I imagine you would want it equipped. Finding a gal there.
At the bottom of the waterfall.
Yeah, that's where he ought to be. Thank you.
So at this point, with the characters that ShadowCid has, what check are you doing next?
If I'm ShadowCid,
that is a Sword Tech X Magic Gal.
And I'm at the bottom of the Barren Falls.
He's going straight to the belt check.
Yeah. If you got dried meat already, then go for it. Looks like checking for dried meat on the airship, maybe? I'm getting the free heal.
Quick free heal.
There's a dried meat.
Is
what
on
luck.
The airship. I am never that lucky. I had one seed where I was locked by Gao. And I couldn't find dried meat anywhere.
That's too bad. That's
the
frustrating.
The last place I ended up checking was South Figaro Castle.
Well, it's
and
always in the
found it
last
there.
place you look.
Right. But I checked almost everywhere in World of Balance and World of Ruin. Um, and the only reason I never went to South Figaro Castle is because I didn't have Edgar. I didn't
Yeah,
see a need to go there because I couldn't complete the checks that were available there.
yeah. Fitz is finding the Air Force now. And Umaro on the Veld. Let's use that dried meat on Umaro, not ourselves.
And then
Nice.
Omaro instantly needs to stay in the party.
Well, we all know you're a very big Yeti fan.
I am a Yeti fan. There's been times where he let me down, but there's been a couple times where it was just him remaining and he managed to pull it off.
Looks like Go-Go is taking the 4th spot.
I think I would have rather seen
Air Force went
Cyan.
down, so that's a golem for oneFreeFitz.
I think I would have rather seen Cyan on the belt.
You'd rather see Cryan there?
Just because we got Sword Tech Gao.
That's right. That way you can unlock Sword Tech 8. Or, not that you'll use that. You might use 7. You might use 8 if you
Uh,
need some instant death.
8 is really good for long arm and tools.
Hmm. Yeah, it's I think it's about 100% accuracy, so
Yeah.
um, maybe not for sure 100%, but it's the highest insta death in
I
the
don't think
game.
I've ever seen it miss. Ooh, ShadowCid is quite interesting setup on Go-Go. He's got Mimic, X-Magic, Magic.
Just got all the magic.
Yeah.
I
And he's
think.
going to Fanatics. That makes more sense. I absolutely hate this check.
Well, I'm sure you're not the only one out there. As Dullahan goes down, and we know that there's a gal at the bottom of that waterfall as
And that's a
we find
Setzer at the
Setzer.
bottom of the tower.
Very nice find. Setzer has some really fast checks to pick up, which I like this
Yep.
character
Search the
for.
Skies, which we know is either a Esper or an item. It can never be a character. And then he's got the Collagen in,
Mm-hmm. That's right.
which is just a very quick check. You just pop in, grab your reward, take off.
Doesn't get much quicker than that.
And then Daryl's Tomb is still a quicker one, and it's somewhat peekable. You have to go all the way through, but if you check the tomb and you don't like what it is, you can reset as long as you didn't save inside Daryl's tomb.
Yeah,
And we
that's
see ShadowCid taking on the first dragon of the seed, and it's the gold dragon.
not quite enough mana for Ultima. Mana,
Ultima may be
MP.
learned, but he is not high enough level.
Here we go. We got 1 MP Ultimas on Go-Go. Oh my goodness, that bolt edge hurt. Let's see, ShadowCid 7-2 with 8 checks. Fitz 7-6 with 12 checks.
Now, I think he's going to struggle keeping Gao alive against Gold Dragon
Mm-hmm.
for the simple fact that he has the Paladin shield, or the Curse shield, equipped on Gao right now.
Yes, he does. Of course, a light breeze would get Gal from 77 hit points with the Curse Shield.
Very true.
And speak
And
of
I
the
think
devil.
oneFreeFitz just picked up dried meat. So I don't know if he's thinking of doing the Velt check, but if he does, then we know that gets him Umaro.
That we do.
Do we remember what the skip was in this seed?
Shoot, I do not.
Wonder if anyone in chat saw what the skip was.
And I'm not seeing it in the race channel either. Unfortunate.
It's a reset from ShadowCid against that gold dragon.
And running away from the Fanatic's tower. Let's see if we can find greener pastures in Narsh.
Did
Raid.
anyone peek if there was a character at Yeti?
No. No, no. No one's done any checks up past that right here, so no one has seen that cave entrance in balance.
Okay. Because the Tritok spot, in my experience, normally is a Magicite. I think I've had 4, maybe 5 seeds total.
Don't hex it, don't jinx it, man.
Come on, find your... There it is.
Here
All
we
the
go.
way at the bottom.
And white dragon, oh no. Also, maybe a dragon you don't want to see.
Oh, he's got Ultima with X Magic and Economizer. He'll be
Yeah.
fine as long as Gogo can stay standing. And he
And we
doesn't get
know,
Pearl procs.
yeah. And we know he also wants to keep Gal alive. Which, yeah, there we go. That's a white dragon down. And that's the first dragon for either player.
Correct. Second dragon fought, first dragon defeated. That gold dragon can be quite a monster. And he was awarded a Mega Elixir and also a Pearl Lance.
Yeah, I'll take a mega anytime.
Yeah. Now, one thing to keep in mind is make sure you don't have a Pearl Lance equipped if you are fighting Goddess.
That's right.
But we see oneFreeFitz taking advantage of that Y remove, breaking into the Magitech facility. And we have a Kefka hiding inside or behind Tritok.
I have a question. Who do we think is in the lead here?
Um,
I think it's Fitz with the Fitz got the most checks.
yep, solely going on checks and rewards. Fitz is ahead in characters, and he is also ahead in Magicites.
7 bosses fought on Fitz side versus 2 on Sid's side. So even levels ought to be higher for Fitz.
Yeah, I think Fitz is in his mid 30s, and I think ShadowCid is just breaking into 20s. But that is Siren.
It'd be nice to have mute effect for tier 3 or tier 2 of Kefka.
Very true. Taking out as much as you can. In the other flag sets, it's not as big a deal. The Doom flag set, you get auto reflect, so magic is pretty much nothing to worry about in tier 2. But in this one, the dragons grant you auto haste and auto safe, so you still got to worry about magic.
Oh,
That is a Funbaba at discount Magimaster spot. And we have a Rex Soul in the Yeti cave. And it was an item from the skull. It was not a magicite, so we know it's... Because that was Yeti stomping down, correct?
Yeah.
And
Well,
well, we already have Yeti, so we know it's not another character. And in this flag set, or in any of the Worlds Collide, I don't believe you could get Yeti from this because you need Yeti to do the check.
yeah, exactly. Unless it's an open world. So right now we're on character gated flag sets, but if it's open world flag set, then I don't think logic applies.
I missed a magicite somewhere. I'm guessing the first check in Magitech Factory was another Esper because oneFreeFitz is now at 8 characters, 8 Espers.
That's right. 8-8. My bad.
That was a Celeste at Yeti. So now we are at 8
Throw
and 3
Celeste,
on
nonetheless.
ShadowCid. 8 and 8 for oneFreeFitz. We know Setzer is at Fanatic's Tower.
Yeah.
oneFreeFitz is in World of Ruin, South Figaro, taking advantage of the discounts that King Edgar gets. And that is an Atma weapon in the shop.
What happened? Well, to answer your question, Oregon Dude, what happened? Shadow Sid has had a lot of resets, unfortunately, and behind in levels. Um,
And
just unfortunate
honestly,
encounters at the wrong time.
I think the difference between oneFreeFitz and ShadowCid is Floating Continent and Magitech Facility,
Mm-hmm.
which Magitech is not in logic for oneFreeFitz, but it is for ShadowCid. But it looks like ShadowCid's going to run down and do Celeste's free check in the basement.
Yeah. I think the big difference in the runs where they started out is where they started out, which is Fitz went to Zone Eater Cave, and Sid did not. And
Correct.
that's where we found Saban. So that was a big help with Magitech early.
Yep. Gives you that. The spells that you haven't had a chance to learn yet. And it's interesting to see oneFreeFitz checking the monster in a box. I think he's looking for Katana Soul to get his offering.
Could be.
He has been very lucky with his checks. He hasn't really had any dead checks, but you can get the offering as a dead check reward in this seed. I think you can also get it as item reward from the dragons.
Oh, you can get offering here, huh?
Yep.
That's good. That's real
Offering,
good.
Flame Shield, Gem Box, Marvel Shoes, Experience Egg, Economizer, Genji Glove, Dragon Horn, and Mega Elixirs.
Hmm. Oh, look at that. Shadow has got some knowledge of these Y remove workarounds. Just using Y remove to get to tentacles.
Yep. Which can also get him into the Ancient Castle. I don't think he'll be able to do Edgar's throne check, will he?
No, I don't think so.
oneFreeFitz made short work of that white dragon.
This Ultima is really, and I noticed ShadowCid got Celeste and just put her right back. Said, I've got these characters, they've been learning Ultima all game long. I don't need a throw Celeste. So let's put her on the
Right.
bench.
I think he has two economizers. Because I think he's got one equipped on Gogo, and then he
Hmm.
just got another one from Celeste's basement check.
Very good. Well, unfortunate it was a dead check, though. Can't win them all.
And I would much rather see Narapa as opposed to Tentacles here.
You think so?
Yeah,
I think with Ultima it's
Narapa is
inconsequential.
susceptible to instant death.
That's true.
So I'm not sure if ShadowCid has Doom online yet, but either way, that was a quick fight,
Or you don't want to cast
and
Doom on Narapa.
that is go mode
Go
for
mode.
oneFreeFitz. 55-45, it looked like.
Yeah, and Shadow Sid, I don't think is going to be close to unlocking Final Kefka anytime soon, but despite having the skip unlocked.
Does he have skip?
8 characters.
Okay, so he's got skip, and he just unlocked Final Kefka.
Mm-hmm.
At less than an hour into the seed for go mode with skip, I'd be interested to see what he does.
Alright, straight to
If he,
tower, straight to statues.
okay.
As
Um,
Sid is investigating the ancient castle.
so he is at 17 checks, which puts his statues at 42 or 43, depending on how the game rounds. I would imagine it would round up, so it puts his statues at level 43.
Hmm.
So he's a little bit behind on some of his characters. I think all of his characters, actually, but it's not a huge difference.
17 times 2.
Isn't it
34.
2.5?
Yeah, I just do the times 2 and the half separately. And
I
34 and
used the
8.
calculator.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, if you use the calculator, then it doesn't matter what if I do the math in my head. You already got it. Dirt Dragon is not ever a dragon that I want to see, um, and I don't know if there was a save, but we'll see if Double Ultima can take this thing out. Gal is taking a nap on Goddess. Locke is having to resort to casting Fire 3, presumably due to being hit by Love Token. Attacking is off limits, or not wanting to proc Pearl on Illumina. Getting a tan. But Dirt Dragon goes down, fortunately for the good guys here.
ShadowCid just dispelled the curse on the Paladin shield.
There we go.
Um, but it was very smart on oneFreeFitz's end to equip Locke with either the Paladin shield or a Thunder shield. I would imagine it's the Paladin shield Yep, because he's absorbing more than one element.
Oh, he didn't absorb Aqua Wake, which is water and wind. So that'd be Thunder Shield, because Thunder Shield
I
blocks
saw
wind.
I saw the little green numbers pop up at the same time as the little white letters or white numbers. So
That's alright. Locke
what did
is
Locke
feeling
just get
weak.
hit with?
Here comes Overcast. Now, Overcast doesn't really matter at this point. Locke is. If he dies, he dies, so. This goddess fight might be a reset. No. Okay. Finally, she's taken out.
I was gonna say I didn't see if oneFreeFitz saved before going into the tower.
Well, if they didn't, they might say just about now.
I know I would. A lot of times I like to do the center first and take out the guardian spot,
Tends to be a little bit
so that
easier than the
I've got the
statues.
safety save right there.
Exactly.
Whether I go from the entrance or straight to the statues, I generally start with the center lane.
Soon, soon. Ultros is not gonna slow Fitz down any here.
No, absolutely not. And that's Ultros 2 or 3. I know it's not 4.
I know it's not one.
So he will still get XP from this fight. Not that he really needs it. He's going into Final Kefka, but every little bit of XP you can get is good.
Green cherry. And I'm not sure what the community calls that chest. I think it's the validation chest. Is that correct?
Validation chest. Yep.
Unfortunately,
And
the big boy Ultima caster goes down. We'll see if Fitz takes time to revive Gogo or if we're just going to ride it out as a two-man. What's a validation chest? Do you know why they call it the validation chest?
I think it's because that's typically the last chest that anyone gets. Just kind of validates the run. I made it to the end. Here's my reward.
I see.
ShadowCid going for his third dragon. We know it's not the white dragon. We know it's not the gold dragon. And we know it's not the dirt dragon.
Well, the remaining dragons don't seem too scary except for the undead one. The is that the fossil
Skull
dragon?
dragon.
Skull dragon, yes. Hopefully it's not that.
Yeah. I mean, there is an enemy in the game that's the fossil dragon, but
That's right. It is. Oh
it's
my goodness. I done jinxed it, man.
but he's got
It's gonna go down fast.
he's got economizer Ultima gem box or no, Gao was natural X magic, wasn't he?
He's got to have a natural X magic somewhere because Go-Go has is able to have X magic.
There's statue 2 for oneFreeFitz. He is making his way through this tower. Yeah, I think Gao was Sword Tech X Magic.
That's good. That's a good gal.
A lot better than the ones I normally get.
And I think any good gal you probably want to keep. Gal's base stats are real high, both for strength and magic. He's kind of a beast.
I had one seed that I started with Gao, and I think it was Steel and Slot.
Well, slot's not half bad. It's not full
Ooh,
good either, but
I think oneFreeFitz is going to lose a Sabin.
that that may happen. The writing seems to be on the wall.
He's been stopped, but he hasn't thrown out Blaster yet.
Meanwhile, Sid is working his way through Mount Cults, a check you don't see too often.
That is very true. It's not a long check, but it is out of the way from all of Sabin's other checks.
I would call it long. I would call it long. It's about as long as something like it's longer than something like what's it called? Mount Zozo or even like Alistair's house. I don't
True.
know. It's like medium. Yeah, I think it's the only one I would call medium. It's the only one like it.
Yeah. And I think a lot of it is just having to go back and forth, back and forth.
Yeah, same thing you have to do at the Fanatics Tower.
Yeah.
Though that one I would definitely say is worse since you're limited in your offense.
Yep. Poltergeist goes down for oneFreeFitz.
That he does. So Fitz probably looking to take on Final Kefka here pretty soon.
Yep.
That's all
Ghost
three
Chain goes down for
statues.
ShadowCid. All right. How quick do we think oneFreeFitz is getting through this Kefka fight?
Hmm. He's got so much Ultima. It's a slow cast.
It is a slow cast.
But not too slow. He's gonna kill the enemies very quickly. I'd say like 8 minutes after
Okay.
the battle starts.
ShadowCid going back to tunnel armor.
Wait, hold on there, Kong. You gotta give me your prediction.
Um, I'm gonna say 927,
927.
just because he's got economizers and Ultima Online. That Ultima cast is a long one,
Alright. I just opened up my live split. I'm gonna see what it is. X
and he
Zone
got
quickly
lucky
take
with
out
an
the long
X
arm.
zone
Yeah,
on the first try.
absolutely. That's some luck right there.
Casting Golem, which why not? Because in this flag set you do have multicast.
That's right. So that's going to negate a lot of the physical damage from the remaining arm.
The only thing you want to do is make sure you kill the head first.
Yeah, yeah. You don't want to take a what is it, Quake? Yeah, I don't want to take that.
It is a Quake death counter.
Quake uh, does a lot of damage and it ignores magic defense, so it's pretty scary to be countered by Quake.
ShadowCid took down Chad in the tunnel.
Got his revenge there, and got an Ifrit for his troubles.
Yep, and I believe that was another one of the Magicites that. Nope, that one did not have Ultima. Um, so at this point, ShadowCid could do Floating Continent, but we know that will only get him a maximum of 2 Espers, because that is where you get Edgar from. He's going to do a Peekable Cave on the Veldt.
Yeah, this is another one that I would call like barely peekable because you do have to trek through the cave first.
Yeah, but you got to go all the way to the end.
Not as bad as Mount Colt's trek. And definitely not as bad as something like Fanatic's Tower.
Right. And I think my biggest issue with Fanatic's Tower is the fact that you're limited to just magic, and it takes forever to walk up the stairs. But that is a magicite on the ground.
Good find. That's what we're looking for right now. Cyrene. Nice to lay that down and mute magic. Um, Unfortunately, the Raiden cast did not kill tools. Oh no, the freeze. Vanilla Senior Behemoth.
The Esper may not have taken out tools, but X-Zone did.
What kind of world is this? But Fitz has the fire too to get rid of the freeze.
It looks like the only healing he has available to him in his items for Strago is a Mega Elixir.
Hmm.
But he does have Cure too.
Oh my goodness. And his caster is unfortunately frozen.
And Strago is going to go down from this fire too.
There he goes. Meanwhile, Undead Senior Behemoth looks like he's gonna take a nap. There we go. You know, we played a game called Guess the Time that they're going to take, but I think we should have played a game called Count the Blue Bubbles.
Count the Blue Bubbles is a great game to play in the Poltergeist flag set.
It's the only one where you get Ultima.
Is Ultima removed from Goddess as well?
Is it? I think so, man. I'm not sure though. Now I'm questioning myself. It's definitely removed from Doom, so
It
I'm
is
so
removed
sad.
from Doom, but Merton is removed from Goddess.
Only Merton.
Um, Merton and then Fire and Ice. And then Doom, Merton, and Ultima were
Yeah,
removed.
they're both gone. So you get Ultima and Goddess then. Okay. Well, I'm not as scared of that seed as I was 2 seconds ago.
So you get
Still scared.
Ultima in the seeds that have multi-summon. And this is an interesting play. He went to Burning House.
That he did. But, you know, we're looking for our last Esper. Yep, there we go. And where else are you going to look for it? I guess Auction House.
You could do Auction House. I think Magitech 1 is pretty quick.
It is. And 2. And you can Warp Stone out after 1 and 2.
Yep.
So,
But not after you take the little elevator down with Sid.
that's right. That's right.
I learned that the hard way.
What other way is there to learn? You know what I mean? That's how I learned most of the things I know about this game.
Yep. A lot of what I've learned has just been trial and error
Absolutely.
or watching the other members of the community run. Um, Speaking of other members of the community, if you are interested in playing Final Fantasy VI Worlds Collide, we do have a Discord. You can find that link from our website, ff6worldscollide.com. And then in the Beginner's House thread, um, one of the pinned messages is the mentoring program that is offered, where one of the seasoned runners will either live coach and watch as you run and give you advice while you're running, or they do a VOD review and give you pointers on what to look for, what to do differently. And it's great. There's a lot of great people in this community, and no one is afraid to lend a hand.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I think so far everyone that I've met on the Discord has been more than kind.
Yeah, and that's another thing that's great about this event that we have going on right now, the Warring Triads event. It is teams of 3, and that is go mode for ShadowCid getting shot at the end of Burning House. Uh, with the Warring Triads, you are on a team of 3, and you compete against a different team every week, and they are solo races, but you are paired up against someone who is similar skill level. So with Ultros League, there's 4 tiers. There's Tonic, Potion, Elixir, and Mega Elixir. And the way the Warring Triads tournament is set up, it is never going to be, as far as I understand, a Tonic player or a new player going up against a Mega Elixir player.
Yeah. So it's very nice to have people who set that up for us. I guess that's Double Down and company. I don't know who else is involved in setting that up, but gosh, big thanks out to those folks.
Yeah, they've put in a lot of time on the various off-season events. I think oneFreeFitz organizes the Ultros Underground, which is an off-season race of just the Ultros League flag set. So if you want to partake in that, you can still do your Ultros League flag set without the, I guess, season tournament setting. And then we also do a lot of draft races, and draft races are a lot of fun.
Never have I ever,
You've
but
never done a draft
no,
race?
but I probably should, you know? It's kind of intimidating, you know, to get into. Like, I don't even know where to start.
So draft races are great because I believe it's the base flag set is from Ultros League Season 4. Um,
Is Kefka
and
gonna
then
go
when you
down
draft,
here? There we go.
yep, get your GGs in the chat for oneFreeFitz. Let's see what the official race time is. I cannot because I didn't join the race room.
Hmm. Let's see, 1:19:56. There you go. Perfect. Unfortunately, a reset from Sid there. I'm gonna get Sid's sound up and running here. There we go. How's that, Knuckly Kong? Does that sound good?
I actually do not have the stream pulled up currently.
Oh. Oh, is it not coming on in the
Hmm.
call?
Actually, I have it.
GG.
We do have sound from ShadowCid. It
Alright.
is a little quiet.
Crank it up. Sorry, that's my bad. You know, I kind of like things a little quieter. I'm like an old guy. I'm a weirdo. So, my apologies. Doom's gonna go down on the second try for Sid.
Yep, and we have oneFreeFitz in the booth with us. GG's.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Dang, that was fast.
That was a very fast
That's
poltergeist seed.
fast.
Some of that was luck. There was minimal dead checks in my path.
You did get through there in 17 checks.
Yeah, that's wild. What a low number.
And I got the skip because I only had to get one more character, and that one was a time for me to get the Yeti with the dried meat.
Yeah, at the beginning of the seed, you and ShadowCid were going pretty much the same route but mirrored. You took Zone Eater first, whereas I believe ShadowCid went to South Figaro Tunnel first. So he kind of struggled with Chad and ended up resetting out of that. Whereas when you made it there, you already had Sabin with Magitech and some fire spells at your disposal.
Yeah, that's early. Chad has so many hit points. It, even with the best like offense at low levels, is always such like a slow fight. So that, yeah, that's definitely a fortunate break on my part. I will also say that the first grind fight that I looked for were 2 undead and something I could kill at level 3. So that was also a huge like, oh, now we can go do checks right away.
Right.
And I think I also did a good job of just recognizing, like, I found the Illumina like right away, and it was like, well, Locke's got a job now.
Yeah.
And then once I got Edgar, I was like, I'm gonna go to the Coliseum because I know he can jump well. Actually, I did it with Gogo because like Gogo can use good spears too. So
Yep.
now
I
you have a
think you
job.
did. You did Coliseum early. I think you did Coliseum before you got Edgar.
Yes.
And then you were trading warp stones for snow mufflers, and Locke decided to warp out of the
Oh
battle
yeah,
instead of
that was
finish it.
funny. I was
That
like,
cracked me up,
classic,
man.
being so greedy in the Coliseum, and then I went back anyway because I was like, no, I need money. I was more looking for money because I was kind of going with the low loot strategy. I think I only opened like 34 chests or something. I mean, it helps when Ultima is on the first espers too, where it's like, oh well,
The
that'll
You
save
have
first
some
your
money.
offense
couple
figured out.
espers.
Yeah, the Phoenix Cave one, which I thought might be a little bit off path. Not often do I see like, because we go there pretty early sometimes. I decided to more like do Phoenix Cave, Zone Eater, because they're kind of long, even though they're free, and forego like looting a lot of towns and shopping early, and it paid off this time. But I did have like a backup plan where it was like, at a certain point, if I haven't found offense, like I'm gonna have to go shop more. I also knew where Atma weapons were, so I went
Right.
back and got those at half price,
I did
which
not
was
see them the first time you went to the shop. So when you went back to South Figaro and World of Ruin, I was slightly confused because
oh yeah.
ShadowCid found Celeste, but you did not. And then when I saw that you went into the shop, and I was like, "There's Atma weapons for half price."
Yeah, that was not serendipity. I did go there earlier, and I even wrote it down. So I was like, I got a lot of characters that can probably use that. I saw ShadowCid. They mostly ended up casting Ultima and being my only healer. I was feeling selling off all my elixirs too at the end because I kind of was like, ooh, Loxata MP. I'm not even at the top yet of the Kefka fights. I had to use my Mega Elixir early, which I didn't love.
So how
But
many
yeah,
economizers did you find in this seed?
well, there was the one in the weapon shop, and I didn't take it. I took the gem box instead. I don't know
Okay.
why. My plan was to sell it either way that early because I was greedy for gold, to get off the ground, kind of having a lower loot plan, and then I don't think I found any more. I only that was the only one I saw. I got a gold hairpin out of a chest, and that was good enough. And it was just
Um,
at the right time where like Shadow could cast Ultima once with half cost. So
I
it's just a
think
pretty
ShadowCid got 3
wow.
economizers total in his run. And then Gal, of course, coming on at Sword Tech and X Magic.
Yeah, that was a hard decision. I hesitated on that. I was like, you could probably be better than Strago long term, but I don't want to fiddle around in the menus a bunch. So I just decided to run with it. And also because like I had gotten so much progression and not a lot of dead checks, I was also like, I decided not to take dragons because I was trying to keep those statue fights as low level as possible once it started to feel like I was going to get into the tower with like 17, 18, 19 checks. So I only took the one that was on the way and didn't
Yeah,
take
and I
Opera
mean,
House. So I think I
taking
was just at the right level to get by the statues. And I had a
taking
lot
those
of like
dragon
backups.
fights would have helped with the levels, but I don't know if it would have helped enough to counteract the scaling.
Yeah, my thoughts exactly.
Because you went in, I think Locke was level 39, and I think the statues based on scaling were at 43. So you were pretty even. And you made it through the statues really quick.
It was right on the edge. Like that goddess one got a little hairy where I was like, I started to run out of NP and I was having to hit my slots over and over again to get enough
Right.
damage out. And then I got overcast and he was hasted, so that timer was ticking too. I was just like, oh. That was probably no, Doom was kind of, they were all touch and go. I think actually Poltergeist might have been like the nicest one because Shadow had the Paladin shield and Ultimas and an Atma weapon if you wanted to swing that too. So
Yeah, because your Sabin got hit with Stop, and then I don't remember if you got hit with Blaster after that.
eventually he did, and it was just a 1v1, which is never what we want to see against Spicy Chicken. But with the Paladin shield and the Snow Muffler, like, I could have got burnt, but it was low odds, so I felt good rolling with him.
Thankfully, at that point, it was Sabin that got stopped and not Shadow.
Yeah, that would have been an immediate reset. If Shadow would have got stopped, I would have started that one right up again. On the tier 2, I see.
Yep, we do have ShadowCid making his way up the final Kefka climb. At one point, I think it was when you got go mode, he was at 7-3.
Wow. That's a bummer. They seems like they really took the path that got them a lot of dead checks.
Check wise, not really. He is at 21 checks, so he only did 4 more checks than you did. But he did not do Floating Continent. He attempted it, and I don't think his offense was at the level it needed to be. So he ended up resetting out of that. And then you went through Magitech facility out of Logic, which got you more espers. So at one point, the only difference was those 2 locations.
Yeah, that checks out. And finding Celeste in that case, like, yeah, because I always will try to Y remove into Magitech on these flag sets if I'm looking for espers towards the end.
Magitech 1 and 2 are both quick, especially in your case where you're not looking at any of the chest. You're just going to complete the check and get out of there as quick as possible.
Yeah, this tier 2 gave me a little bit of problems. I kept getting north crossed and have to fire my party, and then I had to do some recovering, but eventually we got it under control. Having multi-summon is nice on the tiers too, because it makes 10 hits pretty much useless when if we have
I saw you use Golem on, what was it, tier 1, 2, and 3?
Yeah, I really wanted to not have to spend time getting people back up, and so I felt like it was worth, especially tier 1 with those counter punches. I had a couple good armored people, but finding those Mirage vests, I think I found those pretty early too. I always feel more confident if I got a Mirage vest kicking around.
Yeah, you had like all of the columnist protection that you needed. You had Golem, you had Fenrir, and then you had Siren for tier 2. I don't know if you used it.
I did use it. It was at the end of there was a lot of espering going on tier 2, but yeah, that's because that was my last one. I got that one off of. I got Siren as my unlock at the Tritox spot. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
So yeah, having all the tools was nice. Had some instant death. Didn't have to cast that too many times.
Yeah, you got real lucky with X-Zone on tier 1.
It is good to be lucky. And that is nice, but I also feel pretty good that I think I pressed the pace pretty hard throughout
absolutely.
the seed, and I did actually remember to run stats companion, so I have to check to see what my menu's time was overall, but I'm pretty sure it was pretty low, and like this is certainly a best for me on a triad flag set. That's not for this one in particular. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to practice Poltergeist more. My race next week, unfortunately, is Goddess. Out of the 3 flag sets, what is your favorite? What is your least favorite?
I feel like I've had the worst luck with Goddess for sure. Like Doom is fun because if you run into dead checks, it's like, oh, I get a Ragnarok. You know, it's like getting just the big weapons. It makes
Right.
those go down a lot easier. And I think Goddess can just depend, honestly. Like, and I think I like them all because I do like the challenge of having some of the hardest bosses guaranteed to be at the end of it. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like a little bit of that extra challenge, and it's certainly an area where, you know, I think the statue fights are places where close races can be won or lost, you know,
Oh,
before we even
absolutely.
get into Kefka's Tower. It looks like we lost a couple
Sha-
people on the way up here.
Yep, ShadowCid making it to final Kefka, but lost Sabin and Gogo on tier 3. It looked like he had a Phoenix down prepared, but unfortunately took out Sleep before being able to use it.
Interesting. I think I'm gonna get going. I'm gonna thank the two of you for restreaming and commentating and tracking, and it felt good to get the team a W, even though we won't get the team win for the week. Hopefully we'll build
Yeah,
on
Absolutely.
this momentum going forward.
Thank you for racing. We can't have the restream without the racers.
yeah, and thanks for stopping by to chat afterwards. Been a pleasure.
Yeah, for sure. Have a good night.
You as well. So we have ShadowCid in the final tier. Got the Pearl proc off of the Ultima, or the Illumina. And we see Gao just throwing blue bubbles all over the place.
Yeah, that X Magic Ultima is really working out for him.
Yep, the multiple.
Ooh, I hope he doesn't have any commands queued up.
Multiple economizers found. Definitely helping out.
Oh no.
And that is not who you want to take.
I think you just have to wait until after Goner goes to revive
Yep.
anyone. Unless you have life too.
I was hoping those 2 swings would have taken it. Pearl proc in there would have been nice.
Would have, but you know, Locke actually might be able to solo this on his own, and that might be what Cid's going for.
Yeah, but the amount of
There it
damage
is.
that he's putting out, it makes sense to just keep swinging for the fences.
Yeah. And as far as final Kefka fights go, that was not one of the easiest ones. That was very scary to the end.
That was a difficult final Kefka fight.
But GG's to both of our runners there.
Absolutely. It was a wonderful race. Want to thank the runners again. Let's see if ShadowCid wants to get in here. He is already in the waiting room. So let's bring him in. GG's ShadowCid.
GG's. I have things to say about this one.
Well, what's on your mind?
I think I broke a record.
Chests opened?
For
Dimmies out of the Zone Eater. GG's.
Oh
that
man,
was
I have things
a
to say about this
lot.
one. It was 9 before I killed it.
that was
And I think I broke a record. Yeah.
that was so rough. I'm so sorry.
I think it was Dimmies out of the Zone previous record was 8. That was documented. It was 9 before I killed it.
I wasn't expecting that many.
Yeah. No. Yeah, me neither. I think it was
also when I
record was
run
8.
into that, if Zone Eater starts out with a demi, I am usually trying to run once they cast that.
No. Yeah, yeah, me neither. I kind of wanted to see how far it would go. I was like, okay, if I think the record's 8, if it hits 9, I'll kill it. Just to see what happens. And then the very first one's, engulf on the next one.
So
I kind of wanted to see how far it would go. I was like, okay, if I think the record's 8, if it hits 9,
what are your thoughts?
I'll kill it.
Dude, what is going
This
on?
particular one, see what happens. It kind of felt like I was doing things backwards. Engulf opened up with the South Figaro Cave, and that was Trotter Nook, and that just walloped me. Like, okay, I'll get some more levels on the airship. Not great fights for the airship, but whatever. And then it was the triplets. Like, okay. Like, where do I go?
So the variation in the two runners between you and oneFreeFitz. oneFreeFitz started out with Zone Eater.
Oh, yep.
Which got him Sabin, which then made Chad much easier, and then made Floating Continent much easier. And this was still a close race, despite the struggles that you ran into. You made up a lot of ground very quick. When oneFreeFitz got go mode, you were at 7-3.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the difference between the two of you, the runs, he went through Floating Continent, which got him Edgar. You elected to Y remove into Edgar's checks. And then he Y removed into Magitech facility.
Yeah, I thought about doing that.
And I think that one was 2 for 2 on the Esper count. He did not go all the way through it because you're just looking for Espers, and in a flag set that does not grant you Magitech completion for completing the Magitech facility, there's no point to do Magitech 3 unless you are absolutely desperate.
Yeah, like if you need levels or like a character or a Magit set,
Right.
like all 3, like sure, go for it.
Like my Doom flag from last night, if I had the choice between Magitech 3 and Fanatic's Tower, I would have done Magitech 3 first, but unfortunately, it wasn't the case. But out of the 3 flag sets for the Warring Triad, what's your favorite? What's your least favorite?
Poltergeist is probably the one that usually takes longer for me doing my practices. Goddess is usually the one that's the fastest, so gotta go fast. Kind of usually prefer Goddess. This one, they really wanted you to use Ultima, so I don't know.
Was it the first 3? Well, the first 3 Espers for oneFreeFitz all had Ultima on them.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I had 2 with Ultima. I had the Paladin Shield learning Ultima. Yeah, I think I got a third one later, maybe. 3 economizers, 2 people with X Magic.
Yep. So you started when you did the weapon shop check, you chose the economizer. oneFreeFitz chose the gem box. And then I saw Gal with Sword Tech and X Magic. And then you immediately went and did the belt check, which made sense because it's a quick check.
I got lucky on that with dried meat on the airship.
True. I've had multiple seeds where dried meat is just nowhere to be found.
Yep. That was my is dried meat on the airship? I'm gonna do this check. If it's not, we're gonna do something else.
At that point, I was honestly hoping that the reward from Velt would have been cyan.
Oh yeah, that would have been
because
nice.
Dream is a somewhat medium length check. It doesn't take a whole lot of time depending on what bosses you get in there, but it's 2 bosses for 3 checks.
Mm-hmm.
And then you get Sword Tech 8 unlocked.
Which, Ezreal, it'd be faster, I guess, than Ultima. Probably more damage output, but man.
Yep. But
a lot of Ultima.
When I get lucky and get a user with Sword Tech and Cyan, and I do the Doma Dream, I typically use Sword Tech 8 on tier 1 and tier 2. And I've never had Cleave miss long arm or tools.
Yeah, Cleave is a very high percentage Doom, like the highest in the game.
So it's definitely beneficial. At any point in the seed, were you worried?
Yeah, it really took about the first half hour to get the check, which definitely reflects in the times difference. I think Fitz finished about 19 minutes faster than me. So that checks out.
Yeah, so I think his first grind fight was 2 undead enemies and one that he knew he could kill.
Get some Revivifies or Phoenix Downs on him, yeah.
Yep, which got him a lot of levels real quick. And I think that was the big difference, was the amount of levels in the beginning of the flag set.
Yeah, my grind fights weren't good ones. And I checked a couple of places, and I mean, neither of them were good. So it's just kind of, forced my way through it at that point.
Yeah. At any point, did you consider doing 4 dragons?
Yes. If Cave on the Belt wasn't, because that was kind of my peak check. If that wasn't Magicite, I was going to go for it.
Okay.
That's why I kind of loaded up the 3 front end early. I know it raises scaling, but I kind of wanted the auto shell, auto haste, and I almost went for it. Well, I tried in Fnatic's Tower, but then that dragon just said no.
Fnatic's Tower is by far my least favorite check. It's so long, and then only being able to use magic. I guess in an Ultros League flag set, it wouldn't be horrible. But in the Warring Triads flag sets, I'd avoid Fnatic's Tower entirely.
With Ultima, I figured, I'd go for it. But the dragon definitely had more health than I was anticipating, and did far more damage to me than I was anticipating. So, yeah. Probably didn't have to uncurse the Paladin Shield, but I like uncursing the Paladin Shield when I can in these flag sets, just because it's nice to pass it around. It kind of gives you a freebie on the statues.
Yeah.
It gives you some late game defense too, in case you have trouble finding some shields. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of them, but sometimes you just don't get across them.
Yeah, I saw some for sale, but by the time I got unlock, I didn't really need them. So I just push forward. No. And I think I got unlock right around the time Fitz finished. So right after it, which is fine. It happens.
It was still a good, interesting race.
Yeah. A lot of Ultima. A fixed dice that basically nobody but I think Gao could use. So, and he really couldn't use them because he was Sword Tech and Dex Magic.
Yep, and that's the way it goes.
Yep. I kept checking to see if anybody new could pick it up. I'm like, well, once I've got my 2x magic users and Ultima's going strong, and the economizers on both of them, it's like, what's the point?
Yep.
We're doing Ultima. The seed wants me to do Ultima.
Now, at the end in Final Kefka Tier 4, were you worried when everyone but Locke died?
I was health counting, and I'm like, well, this is either going to kill him or proc Ultima on the final swing. So, like, depending on how close that was.
Those 2 swings in, I guess, Gone or Charge Up, it would have been nice if they procced Pearl.
Oh, not a single one. Pearl did not proc on any of the Kefka Tower bosses at all.
But
whole time.
It'll proc on a peeper.
Yep.
Every time.
It procced whenever I didn't need it to, which was kind of the story of this one for me.
Yeah.
It never did when I needed it.
Oh, my bad, dude. My bad.
No, go for it.
Oh, my big problem is when that thing procs in a Doom Seed and your magic power is like nothing. You're hitting for 9999 with your fight command, but magic is doing like 1200.
Yeah. At that point, it's just there for the crit and the back row.
Exactly.
Anything else?
I was trying to think. No. I think that one kind of went as poorly as I could have liked it to, but I would like to go back and verify and see if 9 is the new world record for dimmies in a row off of a Zone Eater. I'm pretty sure it is.
Got video of it.
Yeah.
I am not sure who to check for that.
It's been in the clips before, the Bragging Rights and Clips channel on the Discord. But, yeah, that's a.
And how's your team doing? Team Guardian.
The event quite good. Overall. I mean, I let them down a little bit today, but we've already won our 2 races out of the 3 this week, so this one was more of a
no pressure.
For time disparity. Yeah. Not so much pressure.
That's good.
Yeah, I think I didn't help out on the time much, but I wasn't going to forfeit unless it was past 30 minutes. I was going to see this one to the end.
For sure. Well, thanks for stopping by for that chat.
Yeah, no problem. Hopefully it was entertaining.
It was. Thank you for being part of the restream tonight. Without the racers, we don't have anything to restream.
Oh, yeah, thanks to the restream team. Without the restream team, we don't have restreams.
So, chat, make sure you go through and give the racers a follow. I should have said that earlier, but it slipped my mind. And on that note, I don't think I have anything else for Sid. What about you, Ram?
No, we can sign off. I'm good. I'm good if he's good.
I'm good.
All right.
All right. Well, once again, thank you all for being part of this, and we will catch you next time.
All right. Peace.
GG's.